Welcome. And if you're not doing Wilderness Flash events, you might just be missing out on some money in your bank. So, what are these Wilderness Flash events all about? Well, a couple of times a day, there are these special events that can give you something called core. And this core is used for various expensive things like Grace of the Elves, giving it an add on called Dark Facet of the Elves, but the same goes for this Luck of the Dwarves. And there was some third item that I can't recall from the top of my mind, but effectively you get something that allows you to upgrade all three of these items. And every time you participate in one of these special Wilderness Flash events, you get the chance to drop it. Currently, they're priced at around 600 something million, effectively, if you make the upgrade item. But it will probably be going down with some future update in a month or so, as they're increasing the chances for dropping that core. So you're joining this stuff right at the best moment, as the chances are gonna get better. The prices will fall, of course, but I imagine it might not be the priority when you're doing this. You might just wanna upgrade your Grace of the Elves to contain more porters, so you can just do archaeology more, even more AFK than before. This 500 versus 2000 porter charges does wonders to the archaeology AFK game. So as you can see here, we have a bunch of people waiting for this event. There's also an army of some interesting characters. Yeah, it was called the Baz Army. I've seen them before. They look cool. I imagine there's one guy controlling those guys in like 8 separate monitors, or maybe splitting the screen, you never know. And there's like a flashy orc commanding that Baz army, I imagine. That would be quite a good leader for that army. And they're just waiting, all lined up, like going to war or something. But we're not going to war, we're just gonna do some Evil Tree event. Evil Bloodwood Tree, it's called actually. So the first stage is rather simple. You just click on this steak bone skeleton action. You can see a few spots on the ground. You grab a full inventory, and you click to grind the bones in your inventory, and then click on the tree in the middle to nurture the bloody sapling. And you go again. Just make sure your inventory is full before you start the event, so that you maximize your effort, or minimize your effort and maximize your contribution to the event to make it go faster. In the bottom right corner of the screen, you can see that we need to, as a team, gather 11,000, or now it's actually 12,000 items to finish the event successfully. There's 5 minutes in total. 4 of them are remaining. Usually there's no problems in finishing this part of the event, and as long as there are not too many AFK people wandering around and trolling the specific event, then you should just do your part, as it's a community event and everybody's expected to contribute at least a little bit, and you will get your reward. So we're almost halfway there. You can take a look around at what's going on. You can see some weird ass looking sprouts coming up from the ground, damaging people a little bit. Nothing too much. Maybe this black unicorn might be a bit more dangerous if your low level character might get knocked down by this specific pony. But you can always keep a mindful eye around you and just make sure you're safe in this region. You can always pick a side with the skeleton that's further away from wherever these tentacles come out from the ground or the ponies run around. Oh, you can see that it actually tells me if the tentacles come up, and I have enough time to get away and then continue what I was doing with next to another skeleton. So what we're effectively doing is we're just pillaging the graves of some ancient creatures and taking their bones and grinding them to do some magical thing that's gonna create a bloody evil tree. I believe that's also the name of the event. So we'll keep nurturing the tree until it's fully grown, then chop it down and then light it on fire. Kind of Midsummer Eve event vibes, if I may be so bold in terms of references. So there's just a little bit left to be done. Once we wrap up the contribution, we still get like 30 seconds to hand in whatever else is in our inventory, so there's no pressure from that perspective. You can see we are far beyond our expected personal contribution, so we'll just hand over the last ones. And between each of these mini events, if you did your personal, or if you hit your personal growth progress, you're gonna actually get a mini reward. You'll see in a second. So it's also like a sack of rewards looking thing. Usually contains some maybe a few 100k worth of items. Don't open them up right away. So a sack of wild rewards it's called. If you open them up right away, they might take some inventory slots, but you're gonna need them especially for this section of the event. As what we're doing right now, we're just kicking the ass of this evil bloodwood tree that we just grew. Sounds a bit brutal if you ask me, but we just need to chop or do 7.7k damage to it. And once we're done, we're like, nice tree that we raised here. We just need to now, we need to get rid of it because it went wild, I imagine. So it wasn't the plan, lore-wise, to make it evil. We just wanted a tree, but it turned evil, so we have to do something to make things right. Just beware of the tentacles running around here again. So it seems like everything is under control. Just make sure you have this inventory relatively clean. You can see that I have a bunch of evil tree kindlings here. The more we have, the easier the next section will be, as you'll see in a moment. But once we're done with the community part of this damage dealt, then we'll be able to contribute these kindlings for the progress of the third stage. There's some really interesting pets people have with them, or reskinned followers. So okay, that was the end of the second stage. You can see we got another one of those sack of wild rewards. Now what I want you to do is click the tree again. You actually can see that you instantly got 27, well in my case it's 27 progress out of 45 required minimum to get the last reward. And the last reward is by far the most important, as it gives you something called sack of wildy rewards. And that's the only sack that has a chance of containing this legendary item that everybody calls core. So I guess we could call it an ingredient, as you cannot do anything with the core itself. But what you can do is use the core to put together the add-ons, as I mentioned before, and use those add-ons to make your AFK life easier. I believe for the ring itself, it's a lot to do with if you are into doing clues, then giving this add-on upgrade to your ring helps a little bit with the clues chances, but I'm not sure if it's worth it actually. Definitely the best upgrade is the porter charges for the Grace of the Elves, to make it Dark Grace of the Elves. Other than that, I'm telling you, I can't even remember what the third upgrade was. Maybe people do it. Might have been something to do with teleports, but just fact check me on that one. So what I like to do is just gather another inventory full of kindlings by clicking on this little balls of light, fire spirits they're called. And if I deliver the second inventory of kindlings, then I should be there in terms of my personal contribution. So let's turn them in. We still have some ways to go, so let's help out the team and help the event finish faster. So let me harvest a few more spirits. And let's hope we get the core this time. That would be very epic, as I've done like 1.5k events, gotten 2 cores. So the chances are really low, but the items are also, for that reason, very expensive. And I'm really glad they increased the chances for the core to drop, because I've gotten a bunch of these alternative roles for the core. So obliterations and whatever other names the weapons have that you might get from here. But we're almost there, so a few more fire spirits to catch, and let's keep our fingers crossed for whatever might come next. There's also a chance for meeting a bear here, so again, if you're lower level, you might not want to take that chance. Never tried it myself, how problematic meeting a bear can be, so anyway, we managed to finish the event, and within 22 seconds, people still have the chance to deliver the final kindlings they might have in their inventory, just to make sure they hit their personal goals. We got 75 out of 45, so no problems there. But once we are there, then check out our inventory again. In a second, we got 1 more sack of wildy rewards and 1 sack of very wild rewards. So let's just open up the normal ones first to check what might be inside those. So you can see some few 100k worth of stuff, a little bit of energy, but let's also click on the very wild rewards and let's hope for the best. No core this time, but some money and some bolts that probably are relatively worthless. So that's how you do the Bloody Evil Tree event in RuneScape 3, and make sure you hit up those events, especially as a new character. If you need the money, you might get lucky and really hit big with this one. And as I said, chances will be bigger within a few updates time, so you might want to hold on off until those updates arrive, but I'll keep trying anyway. So thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.